Hi, I hope you're having a good day. Today I want to talk about two Indian staple to South India. One is called Rasam and one is called Sambar. Everyone would be familiar with this. No South Indian meal is complete without a Rasam or a Sambar. And why I want to talk about these two particular dishes today is because you see, every region in the world has a staple diet that suits the genetics, the geography, and the land based on the local produce, based on the climate, based on the temperature. So when we start eating foods which are not staple to us, when we start eating foods which our genes are not used to. So I always give the example of the fact that after you finish breastfeeding as a child, from the time you grew from an infant to a full-grown child, the food that your parents fed you on, if you were not sick in that period of your life, that is the same kind of food that you should be eating today. Of course, there's a change in quality, there's a change in the way it's produced, but if your staple food kept you healthy in the first 10 to 15 years in your life, that is the diet that you should be eating today. Now, I want to talk about rasam, which is nothing but a base. It's like a little curry, which is made out of tamarind juice. Tamarind has its own set of health benefits. But over and above that, it has tomato, it's got cumin, which is also jeera, it's got black pepper, it's got turmeric, it's got spices. Some people put lentils in them, some people put veggies in them. And then you have the amazing curry leaves as well. Now, this is nothing but an elixir of good health. When you combine all of these ingredients together, number one, it stimulates digestion, which is why it's usually eaten with a meal. It's combined with a carbohydrate like an idli or rice or a dosa to stimulate your digestion. You see, everyone's scared of eating certain foods. What people need to be scared about is the fact whether their digestive system is strong enough to digest and break down and assimilate certain foods. It's all about the fire and the power that you have in your digestive system. So rasam has the ability to stimulate your digestive juices in your system to help you break down, absorb, assimilate your foods better. It stokes your metabolism because of the black pepper in it. Cooked tomato is fantastic for our health. That's a whole separate video which we're going to do very, very soon when we talk about angiogenesis and the foods that can actually prevent cancer cells from forming their own network to rob nutrition from the healthy cells in your body. It's rich in vitamins. When you look at the list of vitamins, I've actually had to write it down because there are so many of them. Vitamins and trace minerals in this amazing combination that's found in rasam. You have folic acid, you have vitamin A, you have vitamin C, you have vitamin B3, which is a very important B vitamin. You have zinc, you have selenium, you have copper, you have magnesium, you have iron, and you have calcium. This amazing concoction also helps you deal with gas and excessive flatulence as well. And it's a great immunity booster. And everyone who's watching my videos will know why it's a great immunity booster, because it's got turmeric, it's got black pepper. The combination of turmeric and black pepper has something called piperine in, which helps you absorb curcumin, which is found in turmeric, which is a great anti-inflammatory agent into the human body. And then you have the best of your spices. We use jeera when it comes to a common cold and cough because it boosts immunity, which is nothing but cumin. You have your cooked tomato, you have your tamarind juice, and you have a mix of lentils, which is a fantastic source of protein and fiber. Now let's talk about the second one, which is again a bowl of sambar, and no South Indian dish goes without this. It's nothing but a vegetable stew which is made with pulses. And again, this contains turmeric, it contains spices, it contains black pepper, it contains lentils, it contains pumpkin. Pumpkin is a fantastic vegetable when it comes to building the immune system of a child, an adult, or someone who's elderly as well. We've done a video which talks about the fantastic health benefits of having pumpkin in your diet. It contains something else, which is my favorite. It's become a superfood today. It's overpriced and it's selling all over the world as a superfood, but it was found traditionally in a bowl of sambar. I'm talking about the drumstick tree. I'm talking about moringa. So you see that long little thin vegetable which you can peel open and suck out those small seeds? That's called drumstick. It is a great, great immunity booster. So when you have that vegetable, or you have the leaf, which is the moringa leaf from the same drumstick tree, these are immune boosters which are known and proven to boost immunity in children and adults. So when it comes to sambar, that's your perfect balance of good protein, high fiber, Again, zinc, folic acid, iron, vitamins and minerals that boost your digestion and your immunity. And the best part about it, rasam and sambar are easy to digest. So if you're sick, if you have a tummy problem, you can go lower on the spice if you need to make it more bland. But in a way, it's a complete meal by itself if it's combined with a little bit of idli, a little bit of dosa, or a little bit of rice. Now, the reason that South India today suffers from so much of heart disease and diabetes is not because of their staple food. It's because, number one, the food is too processed. The kind of rice that was originally used was hand-pounded rice. Today we're using polished rice, highly polished rice, because it looks good and it tastes better. But all of that is stripped of its fiber and it just raises our GI levels and we have to produce more insulin all the time. The second thing is we've gone wrong with portion control. When you look at the portions before and compare it with the portions today, a South Indian today who has an issue with diabetes or cardiovascular or weight is overeating the amount of carbohydrates and moving too less. In the older days, people had a high carbohydrate diet and they were not sick because they didn't have sedentary lifestyles. They were working in fields, they were doing manual and physical work and physical labor. They were far more active than today. So the more active you are, your body can beautifully handle carbohydrates like rice, like dosas, like idlis and all of that stuff. The problem is today, everyone wants to blame something. It's human nature to blame a food because it's a carbohydrate. The simple question is, how did our ancestors live without diabetes and cardiovascular? They ate the same amount of carbohydrates that we ate today, but they ate it in the right proportion. They had the right amount of physical activity and the right combinations. So when you're eating a lentil like this with an idli, the proportion has to be more of the rasam and more of the sambar and lesser of the rice and lesser of the idli. It's the opposite today. You'll find a plate which is heaped with rice and a small bowl of rasam and a small bowl of sambar. And you'll find 4 to 6 idlis on a plate where the standard serving size may be 1 to 2. But today people eat 4 to 6 with a small bowl of rasam or sambar on the side. So you see, we've got combination wrong and we've got portion wrong. But we blame foods, we blame carbohydrates. Half the people out there complaining and giving carbohydrates a bad name is because they don't move enough and they don't know how to shut them out and not overeat. So you don't blame a staple food which has existed in the country, which had practically no diabetes and cardiovascular for the longest time until people started moving away from their staple diets and overeating. You see, everything in today's world is supersized. So people think that, oh wow, I'm getting my money's worth because I've got a plate full of food. Or we find ourselves at buffets where we have unlimited food and we eat like there's no tomorrow because we want to get our money's worth. Or you have these eat all that you can and pay for the price of one. This is ridiculous marketing and it's making us sicker and sicker. You can enjoy your rice, your idlis, your fermented dosas. They're great foods for you with your sambar and rasam in the right proportion and have the right amount of activity in your life. Don't blame the food, blame the lifestyle. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep. And I forgot to mention one important point. You know, we have a lot of clients in the US and across London. Okay, they're not of Indian origin, and you'll be surprised that 85% of their diet today is Indian food. They have rasam, they have dals, they have lentils, they have sambar. They're doing fermented foods like idlis and dosas, and they're moving away from everything that India is embracing. Junk food, pastas. Dear India, pasta is not our staple diet. Pasta is just carbohydrates with a little bit of white sauce or tomato sauce with a few vegetables sprinkled on. That's a comfort food for most people. It's adding no nutrition. And if you have a sedentary lifestyle, it is the reason why you cannot lose weight and your blood parameters are all over the place. Stick to your staples. There's wisdom in our staple diet. Like every region has wisdom in their staple diet, let's not run away from the wisdom of our own staple diet. Start getting back to your staples in the right proportion with the right activity and you'll see how far better off your health is going to be. Have a great day, everyone.